the 45th President of the United States, took the oath of office today.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
President Trump thanked 4 of 5 living presidents who attended the swearing-in, then took the podium delivering an 18-minute speech, first taking aim at the very Washington power base that was there to honor his election, and then repeating a common refrain from the campaign.
We are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people. Politicians prospered, but the jobs left and the factories closed. We will follow 2 simple rules: buy American and hire American. Together, we will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
All right, so normally we stick strictly to press issues. We're sort of going off that today a little bit and just getting impressions of the speech. I'm just going to start by saying I thought he made a lot of promises. They were very similar to things that he said in the campaign trail that he's not going to be able to keep right away: eliminating drugs, wiping ISIS off the faces of the earth, bringing back jobs, opening factories. A lot of factories are gone for good. So kind of like that wish list, that well of emotion that he dipped in so deeply, he went back to it today. I think he's going to have a hard time delivering on it.
I agree. I think he was very consistent with his themes during the campaign. As a Republican, I was disappointed not to hear a particularly conservative message. There was nothing about reducing the size of government. I think Donald Trump is probably just fine with the size of government, generally speaking. There was nothing about importing our values around the world. To the contrary, he said the opposite. He said, we are not going to impose our values on other people around the world. Those were not very conservative themes. They are the opposite of what you would have heard from a Jeb Bush or a Marco Rubio.
That was the thing that really struck me, was the abdication of the notion that the U.S. has a leadership role to play internationally, beyond maybe just being a good example for the rest of the world. And I'm not surprised that he didn't say that we should be doing that, but when you think about some of the things that that could mean, not just that we're not going to be doing regime change in other countries, but also things like, President Bush's program to combat HIV overseas. Are we still going to do that? Are we going to? And my gut tells me, they have said that programs like that are on the chopping block.
Even the Voice of America, and just, ways that we promote American ideals around the world.
And I think that's a conservative message, but it's also one we've seen taken up by people like Barack Obama and Bill Clinton. I was interested to see. I thought there'd be a little more self-aggrandizement in the speech than there was. He did say, this comes with a big caveat, he said, we built the biggest movement ever seen on the face of the earth, which is self-aggrandizing, but he didn't talk about...
And he said tens of millions of people came to Washington, which they did not.
There was less of that than I expected because of who he is and how he's run.
Well, the self-aggrandizement will come when he hits Twitter overnight.
Today.
Yeah. I thought the speech was a nasty piece of work, especially the first half. I thought the first half in particular was an angry, divisive speech that seemed to come right out of his stump speech, aimed entirely at the 46% of the public who voted for him. I did think he tried to be a little bit larger in the second half of the speech. But I think James Pendell of the Globe put up on Twitter, the short message of the speech was, I'm a divider, not a uniter, and he stuck to that in his speech. I'll be very interested to see what the media reaction to this is.
Okay, so I chose to look at it as a theater performance because that's kind of closer to our wheelhouse. And, the guy is a master media guy, usually. I actually zoned out at one point. It was so boring. So just from a engagement, I thought, no, and part of it was, we've heard it before. So, and when you do it in a rally, you have the energy of the crowd. And so then that just sort of, raises it up. Here it was like droning on like this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. I didn't expect poetry from him at all, but I expected something that would sort of be a little bit more, I don't know, engaging or vibrant or something, I guess I thought. So let me say that. I think whomever beat him into the head about you will not go off this track, because it felt very he scripted.
Yeah.
Scripted. It did not feel like he would have been in his normal element to say all of that, including the part which struck me about trying to say that he's uniting everybody. We all bleed red, white. Right. This is after you've just called everybody out of their names. But whatever. I just didn't think it didn't work for me as a theater piece. And I thought it was boring.
I lost a bet, though, because I thought he was going to take the media on. I said, he didn't.
Well, you
Can't
and I
remember who
both did.
Took on just
There
about
was
everyone
one
else, though.
phrase that we'll remember, and not in a good way: American carnage.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
yeah.
what was people said. American carnage. What is that all about?